Alright, I just watched 5 minutes of this video by the YouTuber Yuan Thinkton. I have no idea how to say his name. Either way, I know him better by his musical name, no thank you. He did this video called Wagie is in a cagie. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I watched 5 minutes of it. I didn't finish the whole thing. But basically the point that I think, at least, he's going to keep repeating throughout the video is that if you have a job, you're wasting your time, and if you don't have a job, there's an infinite amount of things that you can do forever and ever and ever. Immediately, I have a problem with this point because I used to think this as well, that if I just am unemployed and don't have a job, I can just do so many things and everything is great because I have all of this time to do things. That premise inherently is false because when you are unemployed, not moving in your room, a hikikomori, a neat adjacent, as he continues to call himself throughout the video, you are not getting enough interaction with other people, and you are not going out in the sun enough. You're not doing enough of these things. You can't literally spend all of your time consuming media because you feel depressed all the time. No, there's a reason why I haven't consumed every single anime that exists beyond the fact that anime is garbage. The reason why is because I have not had the energy to do it. I spend all my time laying around listening to podcasts or obsessively working on videos. Videos are one of the only things that I can achieve as a NEET because it allows me to talk for long amounts of time, which is what I was made to do. I was made to go outside and talk to people for long amounts of time. So the only thing I can do to supplement that is to listen to podcasts and to do my own podcasts. And beyond that, if I sit down and I try to watch a fucking movie, I get 30 minutes in and I'm tired afterwards because I have no energy, I have no focus whatsoever. That's not good, and it wasn't like that before. It wasn't like that before I spent all my time isolated. I had an attention span. I had an ability to actually consume things. And I think on some level, you need to go out and do things in the real world to come home and then to be able to feel energized because you've literally spent your entire day moving and being exposed in the sun. If you have that, you're going to have more energy to then come home and watch an anime or whatever and actually focus on it because your entire day isn't bedridden and you just have no dopamine whatsoever, which leads you to being able to focus properly. So I disagree with this video because I think it's incredibly idealistic and it's leading people down the wrong path because, for the past few years, almost my entire life, I spent most of it inside. And yeah, when I was younger, everything was hunky-dory. When I was younger, everything was easy to do, and I could just spend all day watching stuff. But it's not like that anymore. And it doesn't stay like that. You end up going down this rabbit hole of only being able to watch the best anime possible because the entire medium looks like a fucking garbage fest to you because everything that wasn't made in the 80s or the 90s isn't anywhere near as bad as the drivel that's coming out every single season. You begin terrified to listen to new albums because all of your old favorites have just dwarfed them all in comparison, and every single time you listen to a new album, it's fucking garbage. Every single time you try to get into a YouTuber, it always doesn't impress you because your favorites, the people who got you into this medium, their back catalogs are vastly better than anything new that's coming out at this point. But instead, you continue shoving videos and podcasts into your ears that you don't even like because you just desperately need to hear somebody else's voice. It's not good. You say all of these things about, oh, just watch a million movies, just listen to a million YouTubers. Is the fact that a million movies exist a metric for quality? Because if that's certainly the case, then this is just all wrong, my video response. Because the more that I listen to, the more that I watch, the more angry I get because I see that all of it is not like the stuff that I grew up with, or all of it is not like the stuff that I've enjoyed watching over the years the most. It's not like my favorites. I want another Cyber City Odeo 88. I want another Galaxy Express 39. I want another Otaku no Video, another Bubblegum Crisis. Not having, like, watching new shows feels bad. It physically feels bad. Watching the majority of media physically feels bad. That now I have to go back to 2016 Digibro vlogs and just watch those over and over again, even though I've watched most of them 10 times already. Like, I'm stuck in this perpetual cycle of only being able to be entertained by old things that I've seen because I just literally cannot focus on anything else now. And even now, when I try to watch those things, I never fully enjoy them because I don't have the ability to focus anymore. I just am stuck in this perpetual cycle of loneliness and boredom and dissatisfaction with every single thing that I put into my eyes or in my ears. So, no, the neat life isn't good because the only thing that you can do when you're in this life long enough and eventually you realize that most of media is terrible, the only thing you can do is just constantly make YouTube videos or study a language or something. But even then, the fact that you're studying it on your own makes it inherently demotivating because you don't have native speakers to practice with. The first time that I got really, really motivated to learn a language was when I've started using apps and chat rooms and stuff and ways to contact people on Skype to actually talk to native speakers directly as a person-to-person conversation. That was the first time that I really started enjoying it because I was talking to someone. I was taking what I learned and I was applying it to the real world. I would have loved just to have that person straight up in real life. I would love to have anybody straight up in real life, to have a friend, to feel like there's someone there who's breathing and alive and is in front of me and can say, boy, you did a good job on whatever it was that you were working on that day. You don't have that. You don't have that as a need. You don't have the pleasure of knowing that another person exists. You're just stuck in this constant cycle of looking at every single piece of media that comes out and knowing that it's nowhere near as good as the stuff that was made in the 80s and 90s. Like, I don't mean to sound like one of these people who's younger and is born in the wrong generation, but all of it was just so much better back then, and there's only so much of it. Like, it, I don't understand. This video, maybe if it works for him, that's great, but it's just so idealistic that I feel like after a long enough time of being a NEET, eventually your focus is going to deteriorate, you're going to become more depressed as a result of not being around people, and it's going to be much, much harder to be able to consume any media. Because you need that natural element of sunlight and of other human beings being around you. And if you can function under these conditions, despite the biological imperative not being there, good job. I'm glad you were able to find happiness in such conditions, but I don't think most people can do that, and I think this video is misleading as a result.